Welcome to YouTube.com. This is the only channel on it. So this video is going to be a bit different from what I usually do. This is for a different story from Seight called Silvene. And for this one, I don't really have any super developed main character that I can make a full 10-minute video for. So instead, I'm drawing all 5 main characters at once and explaining things about them. Also, some of these characters I've never drawn out before, so I'll be drawing them from how I remember I wanted them to look. I'll start out by describing the story a bit. So, it's kind of inspired by Warm Bodies and Attack on Titan. A bit. Maybe. Okay, so there's this nuclear apocalypse that happens, and that causes humans to hide out and live in bunkers for centuries. When it's finally safe for humans to leave the bunkers, they discover that all the humans that were left out of the bunkers wound up mutating with the animals around them. So, over time, the human population has been decreasing. Some of the humans decide to take these mutants and show them how to be human. You know, how to talk and read and write and all that stuff. We see this story through the eyes of the character I'm drawing right now. This is Regina, and she's the newest mutant to be found and trained. She's mutated with a crow, so she has feathers all over her and wings growing out of her head. She's very curious and new to all of this, and she's kind of the gateway character to the story. Like, you discover the story through her, and people telling her what's going on. If I'm remembering right, before she was in the bunkers, she was in this group of other mutants for years, and they were like a pack. And one day she strayed off, and she accidentally alerted some of the hostile anti-mutant humans and led them back to the group, which then led the humans to kill off her entire group. So she has that weight on her shoulders. The next character is Kindle. He's a human and the son of the leader of the humans, if you will. When they first discovered the mutants, Kindle was the one who actually suggested teaching them how to be human, which his dad thought was a good idea at the time, so they let a few mutants into the bunkers, and everything was going fine until one of the mutants escaped by attacking and killing 3 humans. After that, his dad banned most of the mutants from inside the bunkers, and he's also the leader of the anti-mutants. And what the anti-mutants do is they go out and they kill any mutant that they see on sight. Which is sort of messed up, because they have some mutants in the bunkers that they're fine with. But then they go out and kill some anyway, just because they're mutants. Like, the dad, he assumes that all the mutants that he didn't personally train and that are in the wild are automatically super hostile because of this one mutant that messed everything up. Well, Kindle has been secretly going out and finding mutants to hide them bring them to an abandoned bunker to teach them how to be human and keep them safe from his dad. His dad doesn't know that he's doing this and has been actually trying to convince Kindle to join the anti-mutants, which he's been vehemently refusing. Now this guy, I love him. He's Devin. He was the first mutant brought into the bunker, and he's also Kindle's boyfriend. He's fused with an octopus, so he has tentacles coming out of his head and half of his body like a mermaid. He has to keep his head underwater, so his tentacles don't dry out. In my head, I wanted it to look kinda like a space helmet thing, but now that I think about it, sort of ripped this off from SpongeBob. He also can't really go outside because he's in this part wheelchair, part tank sort of thing. So he usually just goes between the normal bunkers and the secret one to help teach new mutants. He is one of the only mutants that Kindle's dad can trust, which is cool, except his dad sometimes tries to study him to find out where mutants would be or their weaknesses. Nothing physical, no physical tests, just observations and studying him. Not painful, it's just creepy. Also, Devin's super smart. He's like the brains of the bunker. So the dad's also trying to make him join the antis and come up with a plan on how to find and kill them. Pretty fucked up. He's trying to get Devin, a mutant, to help him kill mutants just because they're mutants. And if Devin shows any protest, the dad's like, "Oh, but you're not one of those mutants. You're an exception." So that just kind of drives Devin to help out Kindle even more. This is where I have to start freehanding the designs, because I never drew the last two characters. So this is Prudence, and she's one of the mutants that's saved by Kindle when his dad starts hunting them. She's mutated with a deer. The only thing though, she wanted to help out with saving the other mutants too, which is something that only the supportive humans can do. The other mutants he saves usually hide in the bunker, because if they're spotted, they're killed on sight. But she didn't want that, so she constantly sneaks around disguised as a human. She covers up her antlers with poison ivy bun cones, and she wears baggy pants to cover up her fawn legs and hooves, and she wears a gas mask for her face marking. And she could get away with the gas mask by saying that she doesn't trust that the air is safe, which is understandable considering they're recovering from a nuclear war. She can also go between the two bunkers with this disguise and winds up joining the anti-mutants so that she could sneak some of the mutants that they find to safety before anyone else can get them. Dad trusts her and her plans because she made up a story about how she used to be a hunter and knows what she's doing. But she uses her, heightened deer senses to find the mutants before anyone else in the group can, and then she strays the rest of them away from the mutant and sneaks them away. She's great, I love her, she's adorable. And last but not least, Cleo. Cleo is the mutant who killed those 3 people. She got away and has been hiding out ever since. So she's mutated with a Black Widow spider, and just the way she's been mutated causes her a lot of chronic physical pain. Fangs hurt, the poison that she makes affects her to a certain point, and she constantly scratches herself because she has sharp hands but soft human skin instead of an exoskeleton. When they brought her to the bunker, she had no idea what was going on. Spiders don't have good eyesight, and they can't hear, but they can feel and sense things. Also, she didn't fucking know English, so she couldn't understand what anyone was saying. So to her, what happened were these people took her from her home and put her in this room surrounded by tons of people and kept looking over her and messing with her, all while she's all in this pain and doesn't understand anything that's going on. So of course, she tries to break out, but they try to keep her in the bunker. So she does what she has to do and she kills them and escapes. She didn't do anything out of cold blood, she just doesn't understand and was scared. And Kendall looks over the tapes from the security camera that was in the bunker on the day when she escaped, and he kind of figures out that she was just scared, not a dick. So one of the things he's doing is trying to find where she's hiding and hopefully help her. Because he thinks that if he finds her and trains her, or just shows his dad that she's not purely evil and mutants aren't purely evil, his dad will stop this war on the mutants, because she's the one who started it in the first place. So that's the story for Silvene. I'd like to make this into a webcomic or something someday, but what I just told you guys was pretty much all the information I have. But also, this is the first time I thought about this story in depth in 5 years. So maybe if I put the effort, I'll be able to develop it into something I can use. Also, if you have any video ideas you'd like me to do, leave a comment letting me know, and I might do it. I have commissions, I have a Kofi page, and I have no money. Please change that. Have a nice day. Love you, boo.